fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku. Now, quite a bit of things have happened, so I'm going to try and summarize them as fast as I can, or in the easiest way as possible. Now, in the last part, Deku, he humbled Class 1A by recommendation of Principal Nezu. After the death of Tenya Ida, Mr. Nezu wanted no students to try and get overconfident and cocky and try and take the law into their own hands, since the end result with Ida was his death. Now, Deku thoroughly wiped the floor with Class 1A, and because of this experience made them are left not only somewhat terrified of Deku, but also very impressed with his power. They know there is a bigger fish. Along with that, speaking of bigger fishes, you do actually have All for One, stealing Twice's quirk, creating a double, giving the quirk back to him, and then that double running off with information of the Nomu to meet Deku. Now, the previous users of One for All, they did see the way this guy was acting. This guy's strange to them. That's the face of the man who's murdered almost all of the One for All users. And it's somewhat weird for them to see him acting nice, to see him acting this calm, to see him acting like an actual person. Now, this did actually somewhat convince, or at least get the idea into their minds, about saving Seisho by killing All for One. Even though it's such a strange idea. Now, with that being said, we do actually have the next morning, where Deku, let's just put it this way. Currently all of them, or all the teachers for Yue, are all sitting in a room, along with Deku, All Might, Gran Torino, Sir Night-Eye, David Shield, and All for One. And All for One, he's currently bound to a chair. Now, all of them, they are staring at him. And Mr. Aizawa, he has been trying to use his ability to erase his quirk. However, nothing really does happen to him. Now, Aizawa, he does talk about how he doesn't really feel any effects of his quirk. As far as he's aware, this guy may not have any on him. Everybody, I've told all of you exactly what's going on. I still find this very hard to believe. All Might does go on stating. Yes, hello, All Might, is it? I do apologize for killing your mentor. That is not something I wish to hear right now. But this wasn't your fault? Okay, theatrics aside, this guy, he's a copy of Seisho. He managed to escape his own mind, away from All for One. And from what he's been telling me the last couple hours, I'm inclined to believe him. Now, you do actually have where many different teachers, they're looking around at each other. And they're trying to just think. This is the guy All Might has faced off against, right? The 300-year-old quirk-stealing murderer who's also a psychopath doing human experimentation. However, this doesn't really seem like that type of guy. The way he's acting, the way he's speaking. He doesn't sound like he's trying to be all high and mighty. He sounds like he's trying to sound less and less confused about where he is. Now, Nezu, he's done some examinations of the man, asked him questions and tried to read his movements using his quirk. He's been able to deduce that this guy, he's genuine. However, it is also very strange to him. He has a feeling in his tiny gut that somewhere or somehow this man could possibly even turn on them. Now, with that being said, Nezu, he does have an idea. He's called a student from General Studies to the teacher's lounge, or the teacher's office or principal's office, where all of them are currently standing. This student should be able to use his quirk and get genuine answers out of this man. And there's actually when Nezu does get to open his mouth. Tell me, Seiso Shigaraki, would you be willing to answer questions honestly if we were to put you under brainwashing? Answer them honestly? I don't know what you mean. Well, we would do something to you. We would put you in a state that where we can get honest answers out of you. And afterwards, we would actually be able to remove the bindings from you. It is a precaution, or a precautionary measure, however, as you should understand, with exactly your reputation. I understand, yeah. I mean, you can, but I don't know what would actually happen. Well, thank you for your permission. Now, this is actually where somebody, they do actually call Nezu's phone. And Nezu, he does ask them exactly if the boy's at the office yet. The person on the other end of the line informing Nezu that the boy's only been sitting here for the past couple minutes. Now, Nezu, he does tell the person on the other end of the line to just send him in, as Shinsho does walk into the teacher's office or the principal's office. Now, he does currently look around the room, as he does have a look of confusion on his face. This is weird. Now, he can tell something's clearly wrong here. There's a guy tied to a chair. Along with that, most of the teachers, they're currently in this room. Mr. Nezu? Vlad King? What is it, boy? Yes. What is it, Shinsho? I believe it's your name. Well, what is going on here? Ah, I see you are very confused. However, this Deku taking over. Alright, what's your quirk? Mr. Midoriya. Just call me Izuku, dude, we're the same age. Oh, my quirk's brainwashing, why? Well, you're gonna use it on my older brother over here. Your brother? Shinsho looking at the man. That looks more like Deku's father than his brother. The dude's super old. Now, Shinsho, he does do as he's told, as Shinsho does explain his quirk to All for One. Now, Shinsho, he would brainwash All for One, and he would then get honest answers out of him. And it's all quite weird. Aizawa, he's using his quirk as the questions are being asked, in case to prevent any interference from a quirk All for One might be hiding. Now, all the responses, they are verified by Nezu as genuine, and it's quite interesting. This man really is a separate being from the other. However, he doesn't know how much time he has left alive. So, it's all quite strange. Nezu looking towards Deku, and he does just see the expression on Deku's face. The boy is usually so apathetic, not showing emotion, but right now that look shows concern and somewhat sadness. So, the boy hasn't given up on being human. That's very good. Now, you do actually have where they do let All for One go. Him being released from his bindings and Shinsho being told that he will now be able to return back to his class. Now, we actually do have where other teachers do start to leave. However, we do actually have All Might in his Small Might form, who does want to stick around in case anything does happen that they didn't foresee. Now, we do actually have Sir Night Eye, who does walk right up to All for One and go to use his quirk. Now, he does look at the man, since he did just look 24 hours in the future. Interesting. What is it? You stay alive for longer than a day. Be aware of that. He's not going to do anything strange or fishy as far as I'm aware. However, that could possibly change. Do keep an eye on him. Now it is going to bring his hand up to fix his glasses. Now, he does then turn to go to leave. He does need to take care of some other business and talk to somebody about currently what's happening with his own agency. Now then, with that being said, we actually do have where Deku he does go to visit Recovery Girl, since it is time to check on how he is doing mentally. Apparently last night he did experience a rather different sort of episode, and it is a bit more concerning to her. This is the first time he's been able to move around and see them. So, there's two possibilities that it could be. And one of these possibilities she doesn't want to even really think about. Now, we do actually have her after the examination. Recovery Girl, she does go to train and inform Deku about what she did see. As we do currently have where Melissa, she's running through the hallway of UA. She's trying to find Deku, and she wants to make sure that he's okay. There's a lot of things she wants to talk to him about. The research she was given last night. It's insane, it's incredible. Now, you do actually have where she does go round a hallway and go to run towards Recovery Girl's office. Her seeing a strange guy there in a suit, or at least in a shirt and jeans. Now, you do actually have where she does look at him as he's at least putting his ear to the door. As she's going to tap him on his shoulder, and he does go to turn and tell her just to bring up his finger. Shh. Now, we do actually have Melissa, she does go to do what the man's doing. Yochi's in there. Yochi. He must mean Deku. Now, this would be where Melissa, she does just listen in on the conversation. Really? That's not good, Recovery Girl. Yes, young man, I'm truly sorry. I wish there was more I could say. I only have that long left? Yes. Those are my worst estimates, too. I'm very sorry. I just... Fuck. Now, she can tell that Deku, he's having a hard time processing this. They were able to keep him up and up. It's been hard, but monitoring his brain, he had months to live. Deku, he's been doing good. However, with the recent activity in his mind, the possibility of him having 1 year left on his life has shrunken down to a matter of 4 to 6 weeks left. Now, Deku, yeah, he doesn't know what to even really do. He just learned that the possible 8 months to a year, they just gone. So, what do I do now? Well, young man, there's many options. However, I know you won't take them. What do you mean? The brain surgery, that's honestly not viable at this point. We already don't know how your brain would react to interference from medicine, along with taking out parts of it. There's a possibility that it's already either spread too much throughout your brain, or your neurons just couldn't handle it. They're all being bombarded with this information we don't understand how to remove. You'd likely end up brain dead in an vegetative state. And then there's option B. You could just walk away. Leave All for One to somebody else. Pass on the quirk, if possible, and enjoy what time you do have left. That's not happening, Recovery Girl. I know it's not. But there is option C. What I know you will plan to do. You are just like Toshinori. A lot like whenever he was younger. More full of passion and determination. Before he lost Nana. What? Yes. You will take the fight straight to All for One, won't you? I mean, I have to. At this point, I don't really have much option left. But still, that's a lot to process. I'm happy you were honest with me, Recovery Girl. Now, she just stare at Deku. His eyes are obviously filling with tears, and this boy he's getting more and more afraid. Now, you do actually have where he does try to wipe his eyes clean of tears, and go to try and get his composure back. Now, you do actually have where Melissa, she does actually grab All for One by his jacket, pulling him across the hall, away from the door, and at least starting to enact a conversation, or at least to talk with her. What exactly do you mean? Okay, so what's happening with him? This being where the door does open. Melissa. Izuku. Hey. Hi. Are you okay? I heard about what happened. Who is this guy? Oh, this is him. My brother. Wait, what? Her staring at All for One. This is the insane bastard? Wait, what is he doing in UA? It's a lot more complicated than that, Melissa. But what's up? Well, we heard the conversation, Yoshi. Now, Deku, his expressions go from trying to look calm to, oh, so they know. Oh. Yeah, we're not stupid. I'm sorry. Don't apologize to me. This isn't your fault. I feel like it is. If you didn't come to me, I wouldn't have triggered something in your head. Now, Melissa, she does just turn to All for One, looking at him. Wait, that's what happened last night? He didn't ditch her, but he left to go try and find him? Izuku, I've gone over some of the research for the Nomu. Huh? Yeah. Listen, it's helped a lot of us. For the last couple hours, people have been going over it from Island. One of them thinks that they'll be able to help us, along with even provide some more insight. A whole team of doctors that are examining that information. And besides, the most it would take is, 2 weeks for them to uncover everything. 2 weeks for them to get here and start working on it. Now, Deku is staring at Melissa. He's never seen her this panicked. And it's kind of sad. He can tell that she's grasping at straws, trying to find a way to save him. Now, Deku does just stare at Melissa, as he just does walk forwards, and go to pull her in close to kiss her. Now, off when he actually does look directly at Deku as he did do that. Wow. Okay. Now, he does just watch us go on. First it was a minute, then it was 2, him going to bring his hand up to his watch. Now, this is where after 3 minutes, Deku he would have pulled away from Melissa, as she just stared at him with her face completely red. Let a girl breathe. Huh. I will, yeah. But I'm counting on you then. What? I'm saying I'm not gonna give up. I'll try to rely on you. However, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna say this isn't gonna be hard to handle. Honestly, my heart's still pounding at the news. I'm scared. I know. Do you? Do you really? Yes, I do. Now, All For One does stare at Deku. He can tell that this is weird. However, he's at least happy for his brother. Listen, I know some information about the Nomu if you'd be willing to talk with me. Her turning her head towards All For One. She's aware that he gave the information. However, what could he know? Didn't you hand us all the information already? I did, yes. But I didn't exactly know what I grabbed. If we could sit down and eat something, I can look over what we actually got and tell you what we might be missing. Now, Melissa just turned towards Deku, as Deku does say that would be at least a pretty good idea. He is hungry and it's about time for lunch anyways. Now, we do actually have over in the cafeteria, where Bakugo, along with some members of the Baku squad, they're all sitting down and talking. He's eating some spicy, let's just say, not udon, but soba. And he's at least looking to see what's going on whenever he did hear some commotion. Him turning his head to see Deku walking with a guy who has a similar hair color. And there's actually Todoroki does turn his head to see that. As you actually have where his brain does go to stop. And he just stare at that. That's not All Might. Now, with that being said, people they do at least stare at the situation. As you do actually have where Shinjo does going to talk about what he did say or at least hear earlier. Now, everyone they're quite confused, as basically the entire rumor of this guy being Deku's brother, it's starting to spread like wildfire. At first, it was whenever Shinjo got back, and he talked about how the security guard has an older brother. Everyone were quite confused until Shinjo did basically talk about how it might as well be his father's age. Now, that quickly went from general studies to whenever a student was going to use the bathroom, he did talk to another student about it. And yeah, that quickly started to spread throughout the entire school. And whenever it came time for class, a lot of people, they were quite surprised. Now, Bakugo, he does just stare at that man. He's heard this rumor. It's weird though. That guy he's never seen before. He knows for a damn that that's not Deku's brother. So, exactly what is that guy to Deku? It's not his father, is it? Hisashi, from what he's seen in the picture at least, he had black hair. That guy has white hair. Now, you do actually where Bakugo, he does go to stand up, talking about how there's something not right about this. Now, Todoroki, he would just stare at Bakugo. Let's just go walking over. Now, you do actually have Deku, Melissa, All For One, and, well, All Might. Now, all four of these people are sitting down at the table. And yeah, All Might got stuck sitting next to All For One, and it's quite the weird situation. Never in his life did he think he would share a table with All For One, let alone talk to the man so casually. It's pretty strange, considering the fact that this guy basically murdered his mother figure. Now, with that awkward note out of the way, we do actually have Bakugo, who, as Deku's actually eating a steak, he does come walking up. Izuku. Deku turning his head to look. Yeah? Now, Bakugo, he would just go looking towards All for One, as he does go looking back and say that he knows that's not who people say it is. Now, you do actually have All Might, who is going to bring up his hand on young Bakugo to please calm down. Who the hell are you? You don't work here. Oh. Well, actually I do. Young man, you need to leave Mr. Midoriya alone. It's very important right now that you don't... I don't mind, Mr. Yagi. Exactly what would you like to speak about? Now, Bakugo does go looking back towards All For One with a quick glance, as Deku does pick up on that. I see. Deku going to stand up as the two go walking out of the room. Who exactly was that man? Or that boy? Oh, young Melissa. That's right. From what I understand, that person is a close friend of Izuku. He knows everything about him before. Before? Oh, before. Now, Melissa just found that to be quite strange. That guy knows Deku before he gained the quirk. Before he turned into the man he is today? The man she knows? That's pretty strange to her. She's wondering what he was like then versus now. Now then, we do actually have outside, where Deku and Bakugo, they're both standing in front of one another. Okay, Izuku, I have had enough. Who is that man? Bakugo, it's not really any of your business. You need to be aware that, Deku, I've had enough of this. I don't understand it. Your quirks, that guy. People are saying he's your brother. I know for a fact you don't have a brother, and he looks nothing like your dad. So tell me, exactly what's happening here? Now, Deku does just tell Bakugo that he's leaving. Bakugo standing directly in front of Deku talking about how he's not going anywhere without an explanation. If he doesn't hear it, he's going to start telling people what he knows about him. You wouldn't. Try me. I need to know. What happened to my best friend? Fine. You want the truth, Bakugo? Deku going to turn on one for all, bringing his hand up and grabbing Bakugo as he does go to pick him up. Now, Bakugo, he does go to blast up his hand to try and attack Deku, using an explosion as Bakugo does go to pop out of Deku's shoulder and go to grab onto Bakugo's hands, before it does tie them behind him, and Deku does go to actually go to throw Bakugo against the wall. Now, Deku would just set him down, as he does begin the explanation. A few months ago, I met All Might. Now, a few minutes later, you do actually have Bakugo, he does just stand there somewhat stunned, as Deku does let go of him, Bakugo just slumped down towards the wall. 6 weeks? Yeah, Bakugo. Deku going to actually turn back his direction towards the cafeteria. That's the best estimate, I think, or worst. So, does that cover all the basics? That man at your table was All Might? Yeah, he was. Still is. All For One. He's your brother. And you're some reincarnated dead guy who had your strength quirk? Yeah. Now, Bakugo knows for a fact that Deku, he's not fucking with him. And whenever you do start to actually put these pieces together, things do start to make sense. The fact that Deku somehow suffered some sort of mental backlash when he took on the quirk and went to a coma, that makes sense. The fact that Deku, he's dying from some strange illness and manifested so many quirks, that made sense. The reason as to why Deku, he was there for the USJ, and the reason why, from what they've heard on the news, the Nomu was transferred to a different prison. Now, it's all very strange to Bakugo. Deku going to leave his Bakugo, he does just go to bring up his hand and go to stretch it out. Now, Bakugo has no words to say. And that's sort of bad. His best friend's gonna die. However, he's not angry. He's not crying and screaming at the world like so many different people would be. He's just, well, trying to handle it. Now, he also finds it to be quite strange. He took down Stain, so he does still care. Now, Bakugo knows that Deku knew he would go after Stain after Ada died. That's just how Bakugo is. If you haven't warmed up to the guy, he is very, very egotistical, you could say. However, once he does actually view you as someone he can be a friend with, he does cut loose in a certain way. So, that's what he does know. Now, Bakugo, he does want to thank Deku and apologize. But he doesn't even really know how to approach him on that part now. Deku returning back to the table as he does start to talk about certain things. Now, with that being said, we do actually have All for One, the real one, who he's been somewhat made aware of a few things. From what he understands, he was quite busy last night. He talked to the doctor and he met with Kirigiri. However, he has no memory of this. So, he crawled out of the dark, didn't he? Now, he's aware of his plan. He needs to amp this up a little bit more. If he does kill that boy claiming to be Seisho, he knows for a fact that his person in the cage, or animal, will go back inside. He'll scare it back in if he does have to, so to show it that it can't be in control anymore. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.